You don't realise what has to go on behind the scenes for the pitch to be perfect. The question comes up quite a lot whether I'd rather run out of Twickenham or cut it. If I had to choose something, obviously that wouldn't be an easy decision to make. So I grew up in Gibraltar and I was born there. Rugby back there is not very big. The local side was like 20 minutes away across the border into Spain. I turned 16 and then it became an option whether I stopped playing rugby because travelling to the local women's side was about 2 hours away, or I looked to come over to the UK. Susie came down to Exeter and she got in contact with me and asked if I wanted to come down here and experience something new and have a new challenge. COVID hit and then it became a realisation like I need to actually think, what do I want to do with my life in the bigger picture? Do I actually want to spend 3 years studying at uni when I probably wasn't the most academic person? I took the gamble and come down to Exeter with Susie. Ended up having a lot of free time on my hands because I'd be training 3 times a week and then you'd have like the rest of the week just twiddling your thumbs at home, I suppose. And then we were sat in the stand and the grounds team at the time were doing stuff on the pitch. And I said to one of the girls, like, that's what I want to do. And then because I said it, I had to do it and I've enjoyed it since. We're going to prep the pitch to spray some products down. So we tend to measure it out in 4-metre blocks. We tend to normally use a different tape measure, but that broke this morning. Someone went over it with a mower. And we'll get the boom sprayer out and just walk up and down. It tends to be products that's going to help the pitch grow so that it's looking nicer for the weekend. What caught my eye for the job was how different it is to like your regular office job. I'm outside pretty much all the time. When the sun's shining, you're living your best life. We're marking out the pitch, so we're using a laser, make sure the lines are dead straight. So on the laser, you've got like 2 guidelines that you'd match up to your white line. And once they're matched up, hopefully the reflector should also be matched up. So you switch your laser on and then you're trying to find the reflector with the laser so that that is straight as well. Yeah, the paint's not coming out. It's quite bittersweet really, playing at like your own pitch that you like prep in that sense. Obviously the sweet bit is you're getting to run around Sandy Park. But then the bitter bit is that you've prepped it all, you've done all this hard work for one scrum to happen and it ruins it in that sense and you're just a bit like, right. And then you go in on like the next day and you have to try and sort that out even though you know you did that. When we're training, I do tend to say, oh, like, let's move on a bit, this area's getting ruined. We all have a laugh about it. Don't know if that is actually lined up. Sometimes they'll give me a bit of stick if the pitch ain't right where they want it to be. Like if the lines aren't marked or something like that, they faded away, I will get a lot of stick for it and you've got to go back the next day and try and paint them. It's quite a common thing really, with the lines not being as straight as you'd probably want them to be. It's looking pretty white, pretty straight, probably give it an 8. Cutting it is actually probably one of the funner things. You've got 2 hours kind of to cut it and you're in your own little world. It'd probably rain if I started singing. The question comes up quite a lot whether I'd rather run out of Twickenham or cut it. If you asked me 18 months ago before I started this, like my job, I probably would have said run out on it, but probably now I'd probably say cut it and actually prep it because you see what actually has to go onto it and like the praises it gets when it's at its best. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Ideally, I would want to carry on with the pathway and potentially play for England one day, but obviously understanding that rugby's not going to be there forever, having to have that alternative career. Ideally like to balance in both as I am now for the future and continuing to do that.